Welcome back to the Not Sorry podcast. This is your favorite place to be on a Friday because we have our wine. It's the weekend. Amen. Mm. I am doing a new podcast setup, so let me know what you think about it. It's a little different, but behind the scenes, tech wise, it's a hell of a lot easier. I do need to get some new lights. But anyway, happy Friday. Thanks for sticking with me and all these technical changes and just evolving and growing over here. Um, I do have an announcement to make. uh, I started another podcast. Yes, I know I'm part of the problem, but I just have lots of passions and pursuits. So, my biggest passion in the world is Enneagram. So, I started another podcast called Still You. You can find it on all platforms and including YouTube. And I just talk about the Enneagram, but in like a fun way because personal growth and healing can be hard. So the best way to get through hard times is find ways to laugh and enjoy it while you can, right? Walter's making an appearance here, but let me hold on. Anyway, go check it out if you are curious about it or don't know what it is. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So let's dive in. We got a couple of write-ins. This one's a little longer, so I gotta zoom in. So yeah, we're giving some dating advice, and Walter's here for us. Can you say meow? If you're watching on YouTube, like Walter's always making an appearance, and the only way I can like see what I'm doing is if I look off to my left, right? So just making sure everything's kosher. All right, so let's dive in. The title of this one is called Why is Dating So Hard? Girl. Girl. All right, I'm 23 and I've been single for 10 months now. But before that, I was in a long term relationship. We didn't meet online and the relationship was pretty toxic. Well, after we broke up, I needed time to heal, but also to figure out what I actually want and need in a partner. Amen. That's what we're all about here. That's the only advice I give. Oh, my phone keeps rotating. Since December, I have been using dating apps. Well, I wouldn't say I struggle to get matches or messages. I get approached fairly often and have been on quite a few dates, but most of the conversations on the app are super shallow. And when it comes to actual dates, there's usually no spark or the connection just fades right after. Some guys only want sex, of course. Other guys ghost, and a few I've turned down, but always for a good reason. Now I'm starting to wonder if it's something about me. I don't think I'm unattractive. I'm educated, currently studying, and genuinely trying. I'm still new to all this and naturally a pretty introverted person. Oh, I don't want to pretend to be someone I'm not, but I do show my interest, reach out first sometimes, keep my life interesting, spend time with friends, and just be open. Still, it feels like dating is a never ending cycle of disappointments. But I'm turning 24 soon, and this entire year has felt like a mix of going on dates that led nowhere, plus healing from my past relationship, plus getting played by guys who pretend they want something serious when they don't. Grr. But now I feel like I've learned a lot and can spot red flags more quickly, but I still feel disheartened. It's hard not to wonder if I'm just boring or not, quote, enough in some way. Has anyone else or yourself felt like this? Any comforting words or similar experiences? I've been on 20 dates since December. How is this even real? It's starting to feel like I'll never meet someone. A little long-winded, but that's okay. We're here for it. You're 24. You're fine. You're fine. You will live. You will find someone. I didn't meet my soulmate, the love of my life, the man I'll be with for the rest of my life until I was in my mid 30s. Now that sounds like a long way from for someone who's in their mid 20s, okay? Where's my wine? And it does. Every girl has been there. It feels daunting. It feels like there's no end in sight because it's just the same pattern over and over and over. And you know what? Patterns do tell a message. So do take that somewhat to heart. Not necessarily that it has something to do with what's wrong with you. Sure, it takes two to tango. You know, there's two people that play this game. right? And you want to be the best version of yourself possible. So continue to heal from that relationship. And right now, it just sounds like you really want to, well, at least the mindset that you should have is just approaching dating as dating. Have some fun. You're in your early 20s. It feels like you need to find the partner for the rest of your life, like right now. But we're just not in that day and age anymore. Like our parent. Well, are you millennial or would you be considered Gen Z? Kind of right there, wouldn't you be? Well, at least the boomer generation and our grandparent, the ones before that, what were they? Boomer X? Yeah, Generation X, where you just kind of stuck together. So you kind of have this idea of relationships last a really long time. You don't really know the quality of the relationship, but that's kind of the theme. And we're really not in a bad way coming out of that, but it's still a mindset of, or even a fantasy a lot of girls have, like, I want to get to that point of, being, when someone asks me how many years have you been married, and you can say like 40, 50, 70 years, and you give the young children advice on how to be married or the secret sauce or whatever. Just let that go for a minute and just be yourself, have some fun, and grow and learn, because yes, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, but we're all flawed, right? We want to be the best version of ourselves possible. That's what my other podcast is about, by the way. And we all want to bring the best to the table, even if it's in the long term or even in those terrible, ugly seasons of life or rocky parts of a relationship. You always want to show up 100% as much as possible, right? But we're still human. We're still flawed. So continue to learn and grow. Enjoy where you're at right now. If a guy ghosts you, he ghosts you, and you are going through this filtration process. You, like you said, you've learned some things on like how to spot. I think you said that, how to spot red flags and stuff like that. I think you said that. Yeah, yeah. You can spot red flags more quickly, and you know what? Great. You're refining, and that takes time. And it takes time. And not only are you in your 20s, well, that's where I was going with that. You're in your 20s. People change, like, besides like getting out of childhood and teenage years, in your adulthood, you changed the most in your 20s, 100%. Anybody who's not in their 20s anymore can attest to that, because my 30s have been the best years of my life. I'm more financially stable. I have learned so many lessons throughout my 20s and learned for the better, right? It made me a better person. So I hate being like, oh, you're just so little and young and you just get older. Like, it's not about that. Sorry, let's let this siren go by real quick. That's so fun. I cannot wait to move. Mark and I are moving next month. Hopefully, we're buying a house. We haven't closed on it yet. So prayers that it goes through. Anyway, as I was saying, you're in your 20s. Everyone changes the most in their 20s. So, I mean, finding a partner for life in your 20s, when you're going through the most like changes in life, you're refining who you are, you're learning hard lessons, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's hard to, I mean, a long-term partner forever for life is hard anyway. So really establish yourself and who you are as a person and just go with it. Enjoy the process as much as you can, and live life to the fullest, and have some fun, and set yourself up for success when it comes to dating. Just tell yourself right now, one, it's barely been a year since you've left a toxic relationship, so chill and just have some fun. Like, don't have any expectations for yourself for finding the one right now. We do that too much. Us women do that too much, put too much pressure on ourselves to be like, gotta find the one, the one, the one, the one. I mean, I get it. Tens of hundreds of years, maybe not tens of thousands, but almost, especially in modern day, the 20th, 21st century, it's like women had to get married for economic purposes. And that is really part of our biology in a way. And we're getting out of that, like, as the human race evolves. you know it's not as necessary for us women anymore, but it's still, ingrained into our brains that we got to find the one and settle down and, do the thing, right? But chill. That's my best advice, is literally chill, and set different not lower, set different expectations for yourself, and just say, I want to date around, because it can be fun. Meet some guys, get your dinner paid for, get dressed up, have a good Friday night, whatever, meet new people, and that's it. Just simple, basic expectations, not for the guy or who they are, but for yourself and what you expect out of this time in your life. Does that make sense? Okay. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I want to hear about your experiences doing this, if you've done something like that, or what your 20s were like when you were dating and what you wish you would have done. That would have been, I want to hear that. Or if you're watching on TikTok, comment. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay. Oh, this one's kind of like a fun little follow up to some previous, like, the not themes. What do you call it? Subjects that we've had. The title of this is, I approached a guy in a thrift store and I got rejected, but in the best way. Okay, we love that. Rejection therapy is a real thing, by the way. So she goes, I'm going the quote, chill out, Caitlin. Okay. I'm going the quote, find someone out in the wild route, and frequent places with interests I have, like volunteering, estate sales, thrift stores, coffee shops. Oh, girl, let's be friends. Let's go to the antique store. I want to play a proactive role in dating rather than waiting for someone to just happen to me. Girl, amen. A girl, action. Yes. This was my first time approaching a guy directly. I went up to him, we exchanged names, and I said that I don't often see attractive guys. I thought I missed a line, sorry. I said, I don't often see attractive guys thrifting here, and I'm challenging myself to approach in the wild instead of dating apps. So I was wondering if you're seeing anyone or are available. Great opening line. How cute. Because he was holding clothes, I hadn't seen his wedding ring, but he said he was happily married and then proceeded to say that I did a great job approaching. That that was really brave. And now that I've gotten the first one out of the way, all the other times might feel much easier. They will, I promise. I wished him a continued happy marriage. He wished me luck in finding my person, and we went our separate ways. It was the best interaction because he was so kind and encouraging, while also instilling hope that good, faithful men are out there. I'm proud of myself for feeling brave. Let's hope my man is out there somewhere. Yes. This was anonymous. Snaps for Jane Doe. That's so cute. Rejection therapy is a thing, and it does take. I've approached guys before. I'm pretty smooth. I have a lot of riz. I did not just say that. Guys love it, and guys are so easy. Are you kidding me? Guys are so easy, and just do it. Like, that's kind of fun. Like, that's not gonna set some weird precedence for the future of your relationship where you're the one taking the initiative all the time. No, it takes such a cute guy. I don't know, I think the wrong guy would take it, be like, I should have approached you first, I was about to blah blah blah. If they kind of take it offensively almost, or like they kind of hit their ego a little bit, move on. But if they're like kind of blushing and their knees go a little weak because of it, like, that's a good green flag to, like, keep it moving, keep it going forward, and see what happens. It does take a lot of gumption to do it. What's that movie, the one about the zoo? We Bought a Zoo. Where his line, because his wife, spoiler, but it's been out for a while, so go watch it. His wife had passed, and he's like navigating being a single dad, and he was telling the story about how he met his mom, and he had this how he met his wife, not his mom, but his like theory and philosophy was like all you need is what is it? 10 seconds or 20 seconds of courage to say the thing and just walk away. Like that's all it takes is just like 20 seconds. Say the thing, your heart's pounding, XYZ. And like everyone knows like how much courage it takes and to approach a stranger and hit on them. And I think a lot of people are going to be or would naturally be like, "Oh, no, thank you. That you did that so good though." And like really nice and forgiving even if they reject you. Um and I've done that before. I've had to reject so many men. Well, no. I honestly, I don't get hit on a lot or ever have ever really ever gotten hit on a lot. And I have a theory to that. I won't get into it here because it's gonna make me sound like a total douche. But hold on. But I do have like this little aura about me, like maybe something stamped on my forehead, like fuck off. Even though I'm like sitting there hoping and praying someone's gonna come up and buy me a drink, which has happened, but super rare. And I try to tell people this, especially guys, they're like, no fucking way. Like, no way. I'm like, seriously. Like, I'll go out with a girlfriend and she's the one getting hit on, not me. And we're equally pretty. She just had like other people just have more of that like approachableness and I just don't. That's okay. But it's so weird. The type of guys that actually do hit on me is so left field. Like, I don't know if you guys have a certain type that just kind of naturally approaches you out in the wild, but I do, and they're weird. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like the mean girl from high school, but the ones that come and hit on me in public, it's like, "What- did you come out of a cave and like I don't know, are you drunk right now or are you on ecstasy? Like, why are you talking? Like, in my mind, I'm not mean about it or mean to them. Typically, like, I'll just feel so bad because I'm so uninterested that I'll just sit and be nice and talk to them and like I'll like exchange numbers. Like, I'll do it and just not text them back because that's like the easier way to say no. But I sound so awful. Hey, but this was in my early 20s. I was figuring it out. I was figuring it out. And I met Mark. How old am I? I'm going to be 35. Almost 35. Yeah, I met Mark in my early 30s. So I really haven't had to worry about. And the only time I've gotten hit on by like a proper guy was when I was in a relationship. Super weird. Anyway, I had a dream. I got hit on by Elvis Presley, but he was our waitress at a restaurant. It was the other night. It was so funny and weird. And I was like, oh my God, Elvis Presley hit on me. And he gave me his number. So stupid. Okay, let's do our last one. This one's interesting. The title of it is Situationship Got a Girlfriend, and I'm not sure how to proceed and heal. Girl. Girl. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. I initiated a friends with benefits situation with a guy at the beginning of July. Um, when was this sent to me? I don't know. Okay. At the beginning of July, as a virgin with no romantic or sexual experience. Oh, I guess that's one way to learn. Honestly, great. Kudos. Had all my firsts with him. Yeah. I wanted to develop a friendship with him, but I don't think he liked me or cared to know me outside of the bedroom. We had sex several times. Okay. He assured me at the beginning that he was not in a relationship, not dating, and although he did want a relationship in the future, he wasn't looking for one at that time. Well, he started seriously dating another woman 2 weeks ago while we were still doing it. Okay. I know we weren't exclusive, so I can't be mad at him for deceit. So I can't be mad at him for deceit or lack of communication. Still, my mental health and self esteem has been destroyed. I expressed how I felt, and his indifference made me feel even worse. Please give me advice on how to start healing. And a quick PS I'm not angry that he started dating someone. I'm upset because the friends with benefits has the word friends in it, and I don't think I was treated how a friend should be treated. I don't lie to my friends, use them, or treat or react indifferently to their feelings. I feel betrayed. Okay, you got to change your expectations. First of all, man, it's having that kind of situationship as a virgin and as your first time. That's tough because there are so many, it's such an intimate thing. And I I grew up with the idea of like protecting your body and like, real conservative and um say waiting till marriage, that kind of stuff. And so I don't want to sound like get a bunch out of the way and desensitize yourself to emotions and feelings so you can handle a friends with benefits situation. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's it's hard when it's your first. You cannot deny that there's going to be emotions and feelings attached to it, whether or not you want it to, or even if you logically mentally told yourself that it was just casual and your emotions and feelings are not going to go along with that, but they will, because it's your first time and you're experiencing such a deep emotional thing with someone. Like whether or not you want it to be that way, that's just how it is when it's your first time. I mean, I didn't have the greatest experience. My like physically, it wasn't like the best first time ever. Like everyone has such an awkward, weird first time story, which gosh, should we do that for a subject? Oh my god, I that's going to be a future episode. I want to hear your stories of doing it for the first time. Okay, side note. That was a side note. But anyway, you just have to be honest with yourself that your feelings were attached to him in a way, and you probably had secret little hopes that this friends with benefits would turn into something more. And even though you're okay with how it is now, every girl hopes for it to change. And it just takes a certain type of mindset to really be in that friends with benefits mode. Okay. And I think it sounded like you kind of just met him. So you had this expectation of like friends. We're friends that have sex. Well, men see friends with benefits as someone that you talk to and hook up. You're not friends. You're just not. You're not in a friend group. You're not going and doing friend stuff. You're literally just having sex. And you kind of set yourself up for failure on that one. I'm sorry. But it's a learning process. It's a learning process because that's just how guys are. And that is kind of the general consensus when someone says friends with benefits. All right, zero emotion, zero expectation, zero everything. I can just do it with someone whenever we want to do it. And that's it. Like you kind of put too much into it and expected something different of him that he didn't know. So, really understanding that and coming to terms with that, hey, I probably put more into it than I realized or wanted to, and had the wrong expectation of him or for him. And that set me up for a certain type of failure emotionally, and why you feel like you have to heal, because you're right, he had no obligation to you. He felt that, like, he didn't feel like he had to tell you about it, but like he doesn't sound like the best guy if you still having a chick on the side while seriously dating somebody else. Like, whether or not you were hoping for it to turn into something or not, you dodged a bullet. Okay. And there's some good lessons to learn here. And one of them is take it a little easier on the expectations next time. And be a little bit pickier with the person that this is going to sound really preachy and Christian-y of me, but just be a lot pickier with the person you share your bed with, because like I look back and I'm like, I should have been a little bit more closed door, if you know what I mean. And that felt icky of me to, whatever. So, protect your heart, protect your body, and value it in a good way. You don't have to be a virgin again for years on years until you find the one. But yeah, still have fun. Do what you want to do, but just have a better filtration system and better expectations of yourself and the person that you either want to date or do friends with benefits with. And next time you do friends with benefits, literally expect nothing but sex. No emotion, no, hi, good morning, hi, let's get coffee, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't expect that. You're not going to get that. And unless you become friends first, like actually literally become friends with someone first, if that is what you're looking for, do the friends thing first. Don't try to do it all at once. Okay? Can we do that? All right. Well, that is everything that I have. I was trying to think of a buzzkill segment, but everything's kind of good right now. Work is actually getting better, but we're still on this podcasting journey. That's why I did another one. If you don't know what the Enneagram is, honestly, check out I've done 3 episodes so far. First one is about, what the hell the Enneagram is. That's literally the title. The second one kind of piecing off into more of a different subject called the triads, blah, 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 which breaks it down into different sections. And then the third one we just started, which I just did today. We go over the type 1 because the Enneagram goes 1 through 9, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't know anything about it, go check it out. And we're having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun over there. And it's just a great way to really get to know yourself, why you do what you do, the motivations behind your actions. And obviously, it's a great personal growth tool, but it can really truly help you with your relationships, whether it be your family or your partner or your coworkers, and just really help you understand the world in such a better way and understand people at a more human level. So yeah, go check that out if you're curious and support the dream. Like, right, might as well helping myself do the dream a little bit more by doing another podcast. Like, we need more of those in the world. Anyway, but that is the episode. I am so happy you have come here and supported me. So please rate, review, subscribe, do all of the things, blah, blah, blah. Okay, love you. Until next time, peace out.